Good evening, Pastor Gillis.
Irma?
Yes, how are you?
Welcome in. Thank you for coming tonight. Pastor Nicholas Shirley.
I know, we just left the quarterly conference. Hi, Sister Edith.
Hello, Dr. Gillis.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Was I supposed to have a report today?
No, well.
At the meeting for the quarterly conference?
Third quarter conference, I guess, yeah, since you got a new ministry, yeah, I guess. I'm sorry, I didn't think, well, maybe next time you'll be okay. Pastor didn't remind you, so you'll be okay to maybe.
No, it's in the it's in the book. I mean, in the book poster, bulletin.
No, actually, when was your first session? Right. Was it June?
I think it was May, wasn't it? The first, this was the third quarter conference, which we just had. I think your ministry is pretty young.
Yeah, it is.
So I think she's good. Don't you think so, Sister Irma?
Was our first session in May?
I sat in on one. I don't think it was mandatory for me, but I think since I started, being a partner with the ministry, I was supposed to do something. Pastor will tell me. I'm sure he will.
Yeah. Well, if it was May, then you should have done but it wasn't necessary. You're good. You're okay.
Right. Yeah, she'll be all right.
Yeah, you're
Thank
fine.
you, Lord.
Yeah, you're
We're
fine.
next time. Me and Sister.
Yes.
Lord help me.
We got you.
Thank you. Somebody. Oh, well.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Minister Alicia.
Selena.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? I'm excited that you all took the time to come and join us for our emotional literacy ministry. Those that are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, if you all could do me a favor and go ahead and share the post, I would be extremely appreciative. Again, I want to thank everybody that's joined us for our emotional literacy ministry. Also, I want to thank Dr. Gillis, our coordinator. I'm looking forward to a wonderful time today as we have this conversation. And I'm going to now put it in the hands of Dr. Lena Gillis.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you very much. I want to welcome everybody back. Thank you so much for your support, and actually thank you for blessing yourself, for investing in yourself. These tools and skills, as I said before, are amazing. They changed my life forever. And so I'm grateful. This is session 3. We have 3 more to go, 1 a month until October. And so it's just been an amazing experience. And I want to thank God and thank you all as well for being here tonight. As you know, right now I'm partnered with Greater Bethel, but the Greater Bethel family has been supporting, and those that you see, Reverend Cole, I think Minister Young is on, then Irma Young certain is on, and then my pastoral staff and worshipers from Zoe Life Christian Center down south are also. It's really kind of mandatory for my leaders to be here because I wanted to do this with them before I totally released the ministry into their care. And so they have been so faithful to be here, and thank you all so much. The last time we were together, Pastor interrupted and asked me if I had a question about one of the emotional characters. And I said, wait to the end because it's always a happy ending. But as I got home, I began to think about that. Maybe I should start with that because I do always welcome your input and any questions you may have. If I can't answer them, I will certainly research and try to find them for you. But I think I should start like that. This program has a happy ending. Every single session, even though it's in your face about what's real and what's real life experiences, but it always has a solution. I am a solution-oriented facilitator teacher. And so I will never leave you out in the cold. And so always know that I'm going to tell you the TRUT, the truth, and the facts. But we know that God's word is the highest level of truth. It can change the facts because we know Mary couldn't have a baby, right? That's a fact. But the truth is she did because God's word changes the natural facts every single time. And that's what happens in this. You will be changed from glory to glory, and your relationships will as well. So I wanted to just reemphasize that practice, practice, practice is my mantra as people are entering into the platform right now. So I believe these tools, if you practice them, you actually, even if you don't get really professional at it or interested in doing it every single day, whenever you have an issue, try to remember one of these tools, these arsenals, and bring it forward. And I promise you that the more you practice and the more you apply it to your life, the more change and the more peace. I love that acronym God gave me for this program. The more peace you will have, not only in your relationships, but in your own being. You'll be satisfied with yourself. And so as I share tonight, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So how many of you had a really great holiday? And safe? Good.
Yes.
Fantastic. Me too. The last time we were together, did someone want to say something? Go ahead.
I was very peaceful.
Me too. Peace is good, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Can't change.
In every aspect.
Peace.
Well, peace is amazing. We let me take this way over here. I wanted to debrief a little bit because the last time we were together, we talked about the stressful styles of communication. I'm trying to move this out of my way and move this up here. Yeah. This person. And so, great. So we ended up with the leveling you stress style. We saw that the stressful, the negative styles of relationship were funny at some points, but really serious. And those were the kinds of things that we did not want to bring into our relationships because they keep it on the pain side. So the last style that we talked about was the eustress, which is a good stress. It's that stress that makes your adrenaline flow when you have a job to do. When you have an assignment or you have a goal to reach, your adrenaline, that eustress keeps you going so that you reach your goals. So we said that this week, I share with you that when you're talking about leveling, it's almost like building. When you think about leveling, you think about a carpenter. So when you're talking about leveling, that means you're eyeball to eyeball. Remember, we talked about sitting right across. And so the carpenter builds, leveling builds. Just think about it like that. When you learn to level, you build your relationships. You continue to repair them. When they break down, you can repair them. You have tools and skills to replace a window pane, to fix the toilet, whatever. So you have the same kind of tools that I'm giving you now to fix your relationships. Now, this is also the other picture that we left with last week about the family being congruent, that we should take time to eat and to look each other in the eye, feel each other's energy, look into the windows of the soul. So I said, now this month, while you were away from me, try it. Because the leveler is a believer. The leveler is a person that believes that they can change and you can too. They know how to ask for what they want. They know how to be caring. They know how to be considerate of others. They stay focused on the one issue that's on the table, not a whole history of things at one time. And they take time out for fun. So I said, now this month, go ahead and do these things. Go ahead and ask for what you need and use the tools that you've already learned to do it. And I said, write it down. If you had an opportunity to look your baby in the face and instead of when they were going out to school this time, you say, okay, baby, I love you. See, hold their chin and say, baby, I'll see you when you get home. I love you. That's called leveling. That baby feels your energy, hears your voice, sees your eyes. And those kind of things are amazing. So your face, your voice, and the words you say should always agree. Now, so when you tried this style of communicating, did anyone have an experience that they'd like to share that they really embraced it and tried to do it while they were away this month? Anybody? Looking. Okay, nobody? I can see. Let's see if I can change this so I can see. Okay. Okay, I'm going to recite it. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you to do these things. I actually had the opportunity to level. And it was, I was in a meeting and someone began to discredit someone, and I had to look them in the eye and give them the eye, word, and facial expression to say, that's okay, it's enough. And it works. I'm telling you, it works every single time. Okay, so that ends the debrief. Next time, if you have something, just write it down and we'll try to make room. I only have an hour. What I'm doing is packing 2 hours of a workshop in about 45 minutes, 50 minutes in this time. So I'm using the participants platform so that I can, really go through it. But when you're in a session with me, everything that we're saying, we take time to actually process it. Every skill, we process it. So it's it's a workshop. You come dressed down, jeans, t-shirt, because it is work. Your relationships really are work. And so we come ready to do that. So that ends the debrief. And we're going to go right into our session number 3. And it is July 6th. And we are going to be talking about the emotional pot of feelings. Is everybody ready?
Ready.
Good. Thank you. I'll back to I know it's hard to do when you're on mute, but you can come off mute anytime you want to. So this session tonight is going to be the introduction of the caricature my graphic artist and I came up with to depict that if we were a pot, because emotions are so energetic, full of energy, and we were trying to think of something that would depict us in a frame. So if we really were a pot, this is how we would look if we have been through trauma. And the majority of the people in my culture, in our culture, have trauma. We have never been able to process it out or even make room in our lives to share it. So I'll be introducing what that pot is, and we'll talk about the rest of the evening how to empty it. I will share with you 3 ways, the overview. The overview of how to do it. We won't have time to actually demonstrate it and do the rituals ourselves, but I want you to get the concept, because when you do. So right now, what I want to do is for you to look at that pot, and I'm going to read to you. I want you to put your listening ears on, because I think it's important for me to read from my teacher's notes in this one, just so that you'll get a comprehensive understanding and walk away here understanding yourself and understanding others. This was a great lesson for me, and it changed my entire approach to living in a practical way. As believers, we have the spiritual side. We can come to church. We know how to, praise the Lord. But when we come out of the doors, how do we live in the earth? We're supposed to be dominating the earth, but we're so emotionally destroyed that we are unable to do it in an effective way. So, introducing the emotional pot of feelings. The emotional pot of feelings that you're looking at is a visual image that helps us to understand the anatomy of emotions and how our emotions work. When I say anatomy of emotions, I mean what are the ingredients that makes up the way you act? What have you been through in your life? What have you experienced that make you, especially in challenging times, respond and act the way that you do? If I were to say to you, how to make a chocolate cake, you would tell me all the ingredients that you put in the pan or you put it in the whatever, and when you bring it out, it would be a chocolate cake. You know how to do that. Well, this was the anatomy of your emotions. Why are your emotions the way they are? What did you put in? What ingredients did life pour into you to make you turn out the way that you are? Some of us have no problems, and some of us have had experiences that have really devastated us, and so we do have challenges. When emotions are not properly understood, when emotions are not properly controlled, the negative feelings, look at the pot, the negative feelings simmer on the surface of the emotional pot. These feelings that are simmering on the top of the pot will leak and burst forth. I'm going to try to get a little pointer here, laser pointer. You see how it's leaking right here, and it will break forth, especially in challenging times, in negative situations. The feelings that are on the top of your pot will leak out first. Have you ever heard someone say, I don't see how they say, they don't know me. When you're accused of something that you know is out of the norm for you, you say, they don't know me. When I was in ministry, I would say, they don't know my heart. And that is exactly right. They don't know you. They don't know your heart because it's way down here. And all they get to see is what's up here and what's coming out here. So they have a wrong impression of who you are because of your emotional pot, the anatomy of your emotional pot. Okay? The emotional pot is a visual caricature of the positive and negatives. Look down here, you see there's some positive things down here, but they're way at the bottom, down there by the heat. Okay? The emotional part is a visual caricature of the positive and negative baggage we carry. If you were to pour all of your feelings into a pot like this, making it personal right now, those feelings will settle into the pot in different layers. The top layers in the emotional pot are the more powerful negative feelings that we have. Now imagine that the pot would have a lid like this that attempts to keep the negative emotions inside. We call it a stiff upper lip. I'm not going to let you, that we holding it in, right? Some of them, those things that the lid tries to hold in is anger, fear, sadness, even guilt and shame. I have a lot of feelings labeled here, but this is not the sum total of negative emotional feelings at all. This is just a picture to give you the idea. It's easy to see how we can get overwhelmed when all the negative feelings get agitated together. Our upsetting feelings are powerful, and they are signals to us. Now, when you experience negative or challenging situations, especially, the way you feel is really a signal. When you feel mad, fury, anger, shame, stress, all of those are signals. For instance, if you are feeling anger, that is a signal to you that something negative is happening around you. Something that you don't like is going on. You may even say it. Now, that makes me angry what you're doing. So you can verbalize it, but you don't really quite comprehend how to process it. Upsetting feelings are powerful signals. They're like antenna. When you feel sad, it is normally in response to a loss or a disappointment. So you can say, I'm sad. We don't talk like that, but we feel that. When you feel fear, every single source of your being that is in the soul, everything you see, taste, smell, goes into overdrive. When you are fearful, it warns you to become watchful and quiet. That when you're afraid, you just stand still, and then you listen to what you hear, you look to see what you can see, what you can take, what can hear. Everything goes into overdrive when you're afraid. We know God did not give us a spirit of fear. Yeah. I used to tell my mom when she first got there, and she would say, I'm afraid these kids are crazy today. I said, Mommy, God didn't give you a spirit of fear. And she would say, I know, but I got it anyway. I said, okay, Mom, we're going to pray about that. Now, so these feelings represent the negative encounters of our lives. I'm taking my time, I'm taking it slow, and I pray that you're patient with me right now. Many times, the feelings have been inside of our pot for years because emotions have no sense of time. So you can think about something that you experienced when you were 8, and you can feel the same emotional feelings today. that you did when you were 8 years old, because emotions have no sense of time. I want to see myself, but I need to see me. Can somebody help me with that? Okay. Where did I see myself? Okay, anyway. So when we ignore our feelings or pretend not to care, the stiff upper lid holds all of those feelings. Some of you have been holding feelings inside. Something happened to you, you've been holding it for years. We try to be cool and calm about it and try to forget it even, but that's just a temporary situation, a temporary solution. So sooner or later, those negative feelings begin to leak. They begin to leak out when you least expect it. And you are most of the time will act more dramatically than you should. Sometimes you may explode or you may implode. When you explode, I call that you may lose it. That's what we call it in our neighborhood. You may lose it. You may blow your top, show your butt, wild out, freak out. All those things are words that we have given ourselves in our community because we didn't understand the anatomy of our emotions and what was really, they just freaking out. Lord have mercy, help them. They don't realize that it could be because of something they've experienced. They were responding the way they do. So we may express our anger, fear, and pain inappropriately. When we are not in control of our emotions, we don't understand the anatomy of our emotions, we can actually respond inappropriately to things. Inappropriate emotional expressions are harmful. They can harm you, your relationship, and they can cause you to harm others. Finally, learning how to navigate the negative feelings that lay on the surface right here, the top of the emotional pot is my primary focus, not just in this session, but the whole peace program. Practical exercises and couple empowerment or enrichment, community empowerment or enrichment. If you can learn how to control your feelings, if you can learn how to process them, not really control them, process them, you will be at peace with yourself. When the emotional pot is empty, when it's emptied, when you show your butt and you empty everything out of that pot, all the harmful feelings, you think it's all gone, you can actually begin to connect with these that are down here. A lot of times when you see people explode and they really act a monkey, I call it, show their butt, whatever it is, when they're done and they're finally through, they cry. Then you begin to see, I'm sorry. They are so ashamed of what they've done. They cannot believe it. And they just want somebody to just help me, because they're now beginning to get in contact. After all this is out, they've poured it all out, but because they have not solved the problem, it will come back. It'll grow back. What we want is to get rid of it and never, ever grow back, right? So ignoring anger, fear, sadness does not make it go away. Sooner or later, the feelings will explode, or you will implode. That means you may go into a state of depression. You may have a nervous breakdown and damage the relationship and yourself. It is important to learn how to communicate all of our feelings: anger, sadness, fear, all these that I've named, as well as your love, your happiness, your pleasure, the excitement and what you feel. You want to express all of them. It's easy to express the good ones because they're pleasant. Everybody wants to be around a pleasant person. It's only when we're in the troubling times that there becomes a problem. So another important point to remember is this. The more we practice, you're going to hear Dr. Gillis in your dreams. The more we practice navigating our feelings in healthy ways, the better we get at it. Expressing feelings and showing affection. I call that the sandwich. Expressing your feelings and showing affection, sandwiched together, builds the connection that gets stronger and stronger in your relationships, in your families, and ultimately the communities. So I have a long reach for this. And so I cannot see myself, and I don't like that. Can somebody help me to see myself?
So
Pastor Derek or Jennifer?
Dr. Gillis, if
Yes.
you on your view, you have an option on Zoom for the view that you want to show. It should be from your upper right hand corner. And on that view right
Okay.
there, you can switch. Right now, you're probably looking at a gallery, but if you want to, you can put standard or the side by side speaker to where only the one that's speaking can see. But right now, you might have it in gallery.
Okay. I don't see that. Okay. Okay, I don't see that.
Tell me if this right here helps you out more. I'm gonna put it to where everybody just sees you, and tell me if that helps you out a little bit better right there.
Okay. Okay.
Does that help you out right there?
I see absolutely nothing. Okay, let me see. Your screen. Okay, blah blah blah. New share chat. Okay, okay. Stop video. Mute. I'm looking for what you're saying, but I, for some reason, don't see that. Remote control. It says more record, break room, reaction, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I can't do this. Let's see. Okay. Hide presenter view screen. No, I better do that. Okay, we just go on. I apologize. I just
No problem.
don't like it. I like to see you and you see me. Okay.
I see.
So
Everybody else can see. Everybody else can see you. It's
We
just
see
you.
you.
oh my goodness. All right, okay. Okay, thank you. So we're going to now talk about our emotional feelings, and what I want to do now is just begin to show you. We're going to reinforce, you know, I love to repeat. That's me. I believe that the more you study, the smarter you get. The emotional part of feelings is a visual image. We've already said that. This is your participant. If you've been in a workshop with me, this is your manual that I'm talking from right now. This is what you would read. It's a visual that helps us to understand the anatomy of emotions and how they work. When negative emotions are not properly understood and controlled, negative feelings simmer on the surface of the emotional pot and will leak and burst forth first, especially in challenging instances. These upsetting feelings are impactful signals. I call them sometimes antenna. For instance, and we've already said it, what anger that you don't like what's going on, and you can even look at some people's face and know they're angry. Whatever it is, they don't like it. Sadness, you're responding to loss or disappointment. When you feel that you are in fear, your sight, your ears, what you hear, how you smell, what you taste, what you feel, goes into overdrive. You're looking to see what's going on, okay? Now, so, I can do this. Learning to express the top layers of the simmering negative feelings in healthy ways is my major focus, not just only in this lesson, but throughout the whole program. Because healthy expressions of your feelings, whether they're good or bad, negative or positive, and showing affection, if you know the love language of the people you're around, once you express your negative feelings in a healthy way, which means what I am experiencing, not what you are causing, but what I'm experiencing, and then sandwiching that with showing a love, a part of the love language, it'll make the relationship like concrete. It'll make it stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, again, I want you to see this visual over and over and over again. First, now we're going to go ahead and look at the first way that we empty our pot. The first way I want to teach you to empty your pot is write it out. When I was taking my course from my mentor, it was journaling. I'm like, okay, I want to talk to my people. I'm going to say, write it out. She would laugh at me. But I left the journaling in parentheses because I also want to educate as I teach. So this is when you see the word journalism and all like that, it's all about writing, all right? Writing or recording something. So journaling is number one. When you're journaling or writing, it can be as flamboyant as you want it to be. It's your business. It's like a diary. So write it out. Let me go here. Write it out is one of the ways we empty the emotional pot of feelings. This is a journaling ritual. And when you're writing, what I want you to think about, and you can think about anything else you want to while you're writing, it's your privilege. But one of the things I think is important is that you ask yourself to answer these questions. What am I mad about? What am I sad about? What am I glad about? And any other adjective or feeling that you may think of. What is it so you write everything down, you write it down. Using the journal ritual, it improves your communication and confiding skills. Dr. Gillis, what is confiding skills, please? Okay, confiding skills, when somebody said, I have confidence in you. That means I am able to tell you my intimate secrets, the details of my life, and have every confidence that you are so much caring for my heart that you would never repeat what I tell you unless I give you permission. Now, of course, this has to be someone that you really have confidence in. If you do not have confidence in a person, I recommend journaling. Journaling will also help you to keep the emotional pot from building up with the resentment and anger. Now, when I say confiding on the paper, this is exactly what I mean. If we could actually confide in God and have the confidence that He and His word will give us the answers that we need, that's a great way to journal as well. Just put it on the paper, write a letter to God. Just tell Him all about it. You know that song, tell Him all about your problems. All right. So the question is, what is inside your pot? Just take a moment. What have you experienced that, sometimes you just don't act quite the way you think you should be acting? It even surprises you sometimes if you go off the way you do. So it may be something inside of your pot. So this empty the pot writing exercise is great if you're the kind of person that likes to put pen to paper. This is not me. But I know people who can write and it's like a bouquet of flowers when they get through writing. This is the exercise for you. If you want to get it out of you, if you want to really put the pen to paper, this is you. It's your personal log, okay? And you can write whatever you want. Now, if you were in a workshop with me, this is a sheet that I would pass out for you to write what you're mad about, what you're sad about, what you're glad about, what you're happy about, all those things. I would want you to do confide. I want you to confide on that sheet of paper. That means you would pretend that I'm the person that you have the confidence in, and you can say anything you want to me. Now, you don't have to worry about me telling it, because this is your business and this is how this works. Okay? When you get through writing in my class, in my workshop, there is no debrief. There's no dialogue about what you've written. I don't care what you write. You can say any old words. Sometimes people have said some ugly words on those things because they feel some way that they can't really say out loud. So they write it on the paper. So because once you're done, this is your personal business. You can tear it up. You can rip it up. You can put water. I don't care what you do. You can take it on, put it in the garbage. You can, dig a hole and put it in and make a grave for it. It doesn't matter. But the point is, you have to get it out of you. And if you are a writer and you love to journal, then this is the exercise that I think you would love. Now, number 2, I would love for you to know that the second way that you can empty your pot is to let's go back, because I want to show you that. I thought I did this first. You just want to kind of get it out, talk it out. See, some people that write on paper, they talk all the time, but they're not really talking about their issues. They just talk. And then there are other people who do not talk at all unless you say something to them. This is a person that needs to speak. So to empty your emotional pot, to speak it out may be the best thing for you to do. Now, you can choose to speak it out in a group setting. There are a lot of organizations who have have therapy groups where people have experienced the same thing, if it's rape victims or mad drivers, all those kind of things. Whatever your experience is, you can find a group therapy. So you can get in a group and talk, or you can go one-on-one with a counselor, you know, somebody that's a mental health technician, or you can always register for one of Dr. Gillis's workshops where you can take tools home with you that you will have for the rest of your life. So when it breaks down, if it needs to tighten up, you all have the tools. You just pull out the tool belt and you fix yourself. You fix your relationships. So all of these are good. All of them are very good. Emotional positive feelings, speak it out, is a Q&A ritual. It's a question and answer ritual. When you speak it out, you're not just going to be speaking into the wind. If you were in my workshop, what would happen is that we would separate one-on-one. One of you would be the listener, and one of you would be the speaker. And after you have gone through this entire page, then you would switch positions and change it. When you are the speaker, you will ask the listener, what are you mad about? And the listener will tell you, I'm mad about the cat. And you will say, well, what else are you mad about? I'm mad about my shoes. Okay, and what else are you mad about? I'm mad about my dad coming late. I'm mad that he does not home a lot. Okay, and that person would not just say one word, but they would just talk until they are totally, you know, said everything they wanted to say. Sometimes these people have never voiced how they feel about situations, ever. Never talked about it. And then you would ask them, well, now you're done? Yeah, okay, well, if you were mad about something else, what else would that be? And the person may say, I'm done, that would be it. Well, maybe there was something else that they just didn't want to say to you, but when you ask them like that, say, well, you know, there is something else. And then they'll tell you, but you will be surprised what an open dialogue will free you to be able to articulate and get it out of your pot so that you can live a peaceful life. Now they would go through the whole page like this, and we're not going to do that now because of time, but then they would switch. Once you're done, we would have a debrief. Now we would have a debrief on this one. So you would talk about it with the person's, are you in the whole group setting? We can come back into the group setting. And what was unique about the exercise? You can talk, well, you know, I've never done that before. That was weird, or, that was good for me, you know? So you would be able to talk, What feelings were easiest for you to talk about? Mad, glad, or sad? What was the hardest? Did you learn anything about yourself that you didn't know before? Yeah, I learned I got a lot to say. Well, I learned I really didn't have that much of a thing to say. You know, all these things would be talked about. How might I use this in my life? You know, think about it. You may want to do that again. Maybe, you know, once every 6 months. And how will this exercise help my relationship? You will be able to answer all those questions once you get through with this exercise. And then finally, the third way to empty your pot. Have you ever felt like your temperature was rising? And if somebody say one more thing to you, if they say it one more time, I'm gonna blow my top, and you're just gonna, it's going through the roof, and then all of a sudden you blow it, you lose it, you're throwing the dishes, you're putting your hand through the wall, you jump in the car, and you're screwing around, and you're breaking the windows out somebody's car, you punching it, whatever it is, you know, whatever you're doing. Before you know it, you have blown it. Well, what did you do? You actually emptied your pot. But you emptied your pot in a way that was extremely dangerous. When I say dangerous, maybe I should say extremely volatile, that could grow into something, and before you know it, you've hurt somebody, you've hurt yourself. If you're the kind of person that jump in your car and screech off, you could hit somebody. You know, so when you are out of control, you're just out of control. So now this spew and whack it out. If you look behind me, can you see behind me? I can't see you. Answer me, because I can't see you. Uh-oh. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can see.
Okay. Can you see the bat and the pillow?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, this is my prompt that I use in my program. You see the bat and the pillow. And behind it is an emotional part for you to see. But I have a room that's called my spew and whack it out room. And they actually you would do the very same thing that I'm saying to you. I am mad. And you would boom. A lot of times you will find that people process anger by going to the gym and boxing it out. Some people will run, and get it out. And then some people may take showers or whatever. They'll break plates. They go to places where they can actually break plates and stuff like that. Well, this I find is a whole lot more verbal, because you get to speak, you get to talk. So here we go. This exercise, spewing and whacking it out, is an expressive verbal and physical anger ritual. This exercise requires a participant to speak and move in a manner that may get emotional and demonstrative. When they are done, because I'm telling you, when I experience this, anybody experience this, it's unbelievable how curing it is for you to be able to get it out and be demonstrative about it and not worry about hurting anybody. And so when they're done spewing and whacking it out, and how are they doing it? By saying, this is what I'm mad about. You did this to me, and this is what happened to me when I was 8 years old. All of it floods out of you. You would be, when I did this spew and whack it out, my very first time in the workshop, I'm telling you, I started out talking about things of today, and by the time I was through, I was talking about things in 10th grade and how they spat on me and the spit ran down my face. I mean, I got to get it out of me. The things I weren't able to talk about, it was just, so many things that I did not even realize were inside of me in that kind of a way. So sometimes it hides from you in a way that you don't think is bothering you, but it really, really does. So it's important when someone does this kind of work that you appreciate them. Thank you for getting that out. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right. Now, I'm going to read to you because spew and whack it out is serious. The spew and whack it out ritual lets you blow off steam without hurting yourself or hurting others. The exercise is held in a safe space where you can freely release painful feelings of anger, hurt, rage, etc. I recommend that there be someone there familiar with you with this ritual and be able to listen to you with empathy as you are spewing and whacking it out. So someone who knows what to expect when you do this process has to be present. I do not recommend that you do this for the first time by yourself. The other two, yes. This one I would recommend that you do it with someone who's experienced. Now, there are levels of this. As an adult who has gone through trauma for years, I recommend that you have someone there who's able to listen with empathy. But listen to this. The spew and whack it out ritual is an anger ritual, can be used during every stage of your life to express to a qualified listener the things that anger, hurt, disappoint, and or cause you pain. Now, the reason I emphasized every stage of your life, have you ever seen a baby have a tantrum?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a baby just want to move and the parents trying to hold them in place,
Mm-hmm.
It's because they want to express themselves. And because we don't understand that if we give them that moment to express themselves, it's over. They're done. So if you were to teach your child, okay, instead of you falling on the floor, bumping your head, having a tantrum, let me show you take this soft pillow and this beautiful rubber bat. And when you feel like you want to fall on the floor, I want to hit this, I want to fall. And you will find out that your children will be raised in a healthy, emotional way without hurting themselves or hurting other people in school, punching somebody out in school, because they'll have an outlet at their home with a qualified listener who would be mom or dad, qualified listener to process them through this. This is why it's so important for us to learn this ritual. Your child cannot go to the gym and whack it out. They can't run around the corner. They cannot do it. And so we have to take care of our children. We talk to them when they're in the tummy. We play music to them when they're in the tummy. And then once they get out the tummy, we forget that we can actually nurture our children in a way that connects with us, and everything in us can be poured into them. Okay, this ritual will avoid saying things in public. We're back to adults now. This ritual will avoid saying things in public that you may regret. If you don't get it out, you're going to respond in a way that's going to make you regret what you say, because it's going to make you shame and everybody else shame. Anger rituals are always with permission, time limited. You should give yourself 5 minutes, 3 minutes, no more than that. When you're spewing and whacking it out, you don't want to be extreme with that. And it will end always with appreciations. Thank you for doing that work, because it is a work. It really is. So after this spew and whack, you may choose to talk about it with the listener, or you may choose to be silent. In this program, you can always have a choice. You can participate, or you can just be a silent listener, because no matter what position you're in, you're going to learn. You're going to learn. You can talk to with the listener about one or more of the things. You can talk about any part of it. Okay, I wanted to say that to you to make sure we're on the same page about the spew and whack. It is one of the most effective anger rituals that I think all black mad black boys need to do this and learn this session, this lesson right here. And we would find that they won't be as volatile. We won't be shooting each other and killing each other for nothing. I mean, they're just totally overreacting because they're full. Their pot is totally full. All right. Now, so spew and whack it out is my final demonstration, but I want you to see the tool once more. When you look at this picture, I have 2 arrows on each side of the jug. It's called dirty fighting. When I started out teaching this, it was a dirty dozen, but now it's the dirty dozen plus 2. I think it's like 14 on here now. But when you see people, and I want you to read it with me, being sarcastic, or let's just read them: sarcasm, labeling, ridiculing, snickering, threatening, accusing, taunting, and over to the other side, ignoring, stonewalling, assuming, blaming, being contemptible, sneering, and poking. That's all dirty fighting. Whenever you see someone dirty fighting, one thing you will know: their pot is full. Mm-hmm. So we learn not to think that people, it's about us. It's really not about us. It's about them. Why do they feel the need to do that? Why do they feel the need to do that? It's because life experiences, the anatomy of their emotions, are bottled up inside of their being. And every chance it gets, it leaks or pours or explodes. Reminder, this visual image helps you to understand how you work, how your emotions work. When your emotions are under control, you will have a great connection with your relationships. Where they're not properly understood and controlled, these negative feelings that simmer can spoil your whole day, spoil your whole relationship, spoil your life, sometimes irreconcilable differences. You see divorces, irreconcilable. Every time I hear irreconcilable differences, that's why you get divorced. You can't even name what it is. It's irreconcilable because it's so unknown that you don't realize you're getting a divorce because somebody's pot is full and they don't know how to process it, and you can't take it no more. So bye. Can you imagine if we could all learn this? How long-lasting our relationships would be. Our upsetting feelings are powerful. Remember that. So whenever you feel anger from this moment on, you know something going on negative. Hey, so you pay attention to it, but how you responded to it before, now you're going to respond it in a healthy way. I feel angry when you do that. This is what I feel. Okay? Sadness is your response to loss and disappointment. When you feel fear, It makes you know that something is dangerous about to happen. Whoops, it could be dangerous. And so everything goes into overdrive. So learning how to express these feelings by writing it out, speaking it out, spewing, whacking it out. You get rid of these things and learning how to do this. When you learn to express these negative pot layer feelings that are in your pots, and then showing affection, love language. I love you. I'm going to bond. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to hug you, but I'm angry because this is what I experienced with you. But when you are able to say that and then say, but I still love you, what happens is supernatural. Because God put relationships together. He made relationships, not us, what he did. And it helps to build stronger connections. Now, I think my time is about going. So at this point, tonight I'm going to ask you, because it's a lot. Do you have any questions? Come off of mute. Do you have any questions or comments? And I'm going to see if I can. I know what I do. I'm going to.
What are you trying to do, Dr. Gillis?
I'm going to stop sharing. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Pastor.
At some point, I am going to be better with this Zoom thing. I promise I will. It's good to see everybody. So are there any questions or comments or input at this point?
So
Great
when you're
job,
trying to
Pastor.
get someone, when you're trying to get someone to this point, since it's not something that most of us have not grown up with in our households, and you have generations that are not familiar with this type of approach, we're more familiar with you better straighten up. And so how do you get someone that may be 50 years old, 60 years old, to the point of, because this right here seems like it has to really be on the side of the person whose pot is full to want. It's almost like that, the scriptures, like they have to want. Like Paul said, I'm oh wretched, I'm miserable, and they have to want it. This doesn't seem like something you could just listen to somebody and say, okay, I'll try this, if you haven't been exposed to this. So how do you get someone to this place?
Okay, thank you. That is an amazing question. The issue is not them. The change has to be in you. When you are the example before people, they will see the difference in you, and they will become inquisitive, if nothing else, as to what is going on. Because normally when a person shows their butt, we show ours too. We get them back. So the point is that we change. When we change our environment. Now, we may never get people to embrace what we've learned here tonight if they are not introduced to it. So we can always invite them to a workshop. We can always share with them what we've learned. If they have 10 minutes, whatever their attention span is, they can go to your website and look at the presentations themselves. But the objective of my program is to change the individual that's in the seat. And then their change will be effective. Now, if you are in a relationship with someone, yes, you would want definitely for them to embrace what you have at least learned. If you don't have a relationship with someone who would at least listen to what you've learned, then you definitely need therapy in that relationship. Any other did I answer your question, Pastor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions? Oh, now I see now I see show chat. Okay. Okay.
Dr. Gillis.
Hello, Judge Rawls.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I think for me, and maybe you can expound on it, the most challenging piece here is, give me one moment. Let me see if I can. Hold on one second. Trying to get to this thing. I guess the most challenging piece for me is I guess one of the pieces that you reiterate is to express emotions. So I'm going to express these tough emotions. And then I have to be able to, I think you said, display affection. When I'm expressing these emotions, the emotions that you talked about, the anger, the sadness, all of those things, trying to then, in those same moments, express affection and love. For some of us, it takes time because it's almost like I can't turn it off. So what do you do to help yourself say, okay, you know what? I'm so mad, but oh, I love you too.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is you identify what you're feeling. If you're angry, you say that, I feel anger. Because most of the time we just have dialogue. You make me sick, and then we go there. Well, you're not saying what you feel. You're just saying words that hurt. It's like arrows coming out of your mouth. So it's not necessarily that you are pretending like you're not angry. It's you're identifying that you are angry. When I saw the clock was 4 o'clock and you promised to be here at 2, I felt anger. I felt anger. Now, if you're emotional when you're saying it, then yes, you have to continue to what? Practice, and practice. This will never come, it's not going to come overnight, but when you begin to actually say how you feel, what it is you are experiencing, and what made you experience it, but that has nothing, as totally separate from the fact that I love you. Well, remember what we talked about before. When you are in a relationship, divide and conquer is the goal. So whatever, even though I'm angry, I want you to know that I still love you. And you may not say it like I'm saying it. I want you to know I'm angry now. When you relate, I'm angry, but I love you. See, so you want to sandwich it with love language, even though you're maybe scolding, but you don't want to be hateful. You don't want to say, and I don't love you. You want to say the truth. Because just because you're mad does not mean that you're not in love. So when you go to that other step, I'm angry if you're late again, and I'm angry about that. I just want you to know I'm angry about that. Stop right at the moon. If you're gonna say, and you make me sick, that's not true. So you want to stay with the truth. Stay with the truth. I don't love you no more. I hate you. No, you don't. Stay with the truth. So that's what we're talking about right there.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful, because I think that sometimes when you're so emotionally involved, especially expressing that, I can think back to times when even though I continued to love, I didn't feel like expressing that love. So I didn't want to hug. I didn't want to hold a hand. I didn't want to sit close. It's like, you stay on that side, I'll stay on this side. Mm-hmm. But it's that, I guess, those feelings kind of bottling them up and not getting them out, interfering with the ability to be able to express affection.
I hear you. Next week, you're going to love, because it's going to answer that question so clearly. Okay, so just hold on to next week. And as I said before, yes, all of this is a process. That's why my mantra is what? Practice, because it's just like playing basketball. I mean, you're not gonna do that slam dunk on the first time you're on the court, but you keep practicing. See, so I'm not expecting for you to change overnight. I'm expecting for you to apply the tools, because when you apply the tools will do the work inside of you. And in about 3 months, you'll be saying, "Oh wow, I'm able to do that," because you will be. Listen, been there, did it. Been there, did it. Any other questions or input comments?
Pastor,
Hi, Pastor.
Hey, how you doing, Pastor? Pastor, do we have to keep in mind that we're working on ourselves?
Yes, please.
Yes. Oh, I guess that's what kind of keep you humble, and before you have to be slow to speak. quick to listen but slow to speak, and think about what you're saying, and think about it's not for the other person, it's for you to better yourself. Correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity. You will always have opportunities to blow this. And you will blow it sometimes. But that doesn't mean you stop. That means, okay, I need to get sharper on this. Someone was telling me to do something like I was a child. This is what I'm thinking about. I'm a grown woman, you don't tell me what to do. Well, of course, that didn't come out my mouth, but I could feel it. I could feel it coming. I'm like, okay, let me separate myself from this situation. So sometimes you have to be like Jesus. When it was too much for him to bear, what did he do? Separated himself. So you have to ask for that kind of freedom in your relationship. I need space. See, ask for what you want. That's what the leveler is. If I were to really address this right now, we talked about this a couple of weeks back. Lessons back. I need time. Can you give me 5 minutes? Tomorrow we can talk about it. I'm angry today and I love you, but I don't want to hug you right now. So, can I hug you another day? That's not going to be great to do, but if you have to do it this moment, then that's fine. Other comments and questions? Thank you, Pastor. Anything else, Pastor?
Yeah, could we use the bat?
Can you use the bat?
I'm just kidding, Pastor.
Oh, yes.
Dr. Gillis. Dr. Gillis.
But you're only hitting the pillow.
Okay.
Dr. Gillis.
And like I said, you all have, kind of been introduced to this process, but
Amen.
Absolutely.
It's good, Pastor.
It is good. Dr. Gillis.
Yes, sir. Pastor Mayberry?
Yes, but
How are you?
thank God I'm listening, because I'm learning, and just by this session, that I don't have to put on my gloves and have to be in the ring and have to come out boxing in the winter. That's not going to knock the other person out. It's not about me getting in the ring, knocking the person out, because I want to win the fight.
That is so good.
I want to win the fight. There's no need me lying. I want to win the fight.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, as we learned in the last session, you're already a winner.
Yes.
Every single thing about us has been distorted. When we were born, we had a clean, beautiful, pure slate.
Right.
Life has happened and brought us to where we are right now, but we can uncover all that and let the real us, the real I, stand up and live. And that's, I don't want to preach, but I could go there,
Amen. Amen.
Yes. You're already more than a conqueror. All right. Thank you, Pastor.
Pray my strength in the Lord.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, I understand. Okay. Any other comments or input before we close it out? We're out of time. I'm just asking the Holy Spirit. I'm asking you to go over your notes. Go on Pastor's website, Pastor Ron, Greater Bethel, Gainesville. When you see his picture, click on it, and you can go and review and look at these over and over and over again. Practice, rehearse, listen, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to miss something, but as you listen, you're going to put it all together, and you will be a totally whole person when you're done. And that's my goal. All right, so let me go ahead and do this. Okay, let's try this one. All right. So what is, okay, I need to share. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is session 3. Next month, August 3rd, we're going to be talking about bonding. Judge Ross. That touchy-feely stuff that we don't feel like doing sometimes when we're upset. From the cradle and beyond. You're going to love this one. Healthy hearts and soul is the goal. Healthy hearts, healthy soul is the goal.
Amen.
So be peace-filled, and I look forward to seeing you at our next session And now with that, I will turn it back over to Pastor Ronald Rawls and thank him again for his gracious heart allowing me to do this. Thank you, Pastor.
Okay, so Dr. Gillis, you did a wonderful job. We appreciate it so much. Can you real quick, can you give us, because people will play this back and in the end, we're always looking at how do we follow up more on this? Can you give us either website information or contact information if we want to go deeper into this right here or do with our jobs, employment, or organizations? How do we contact you?
Okay, Lena Gillis Enterprises LLC is the website, but my team and I are working right now on getting an agenda. I'm going to be doing workshop seminars in January, starting 2024. As soon as these are over in October, January, May, and September. So I'm inviting corporations, schools, teachers, everybody, preachers, senior staff, those leaders to do seminars so we can be whole when we come before the people of God, when we come before our employees, our students. And so you can reach me there and I'll get back to you.
Right. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, y'all, we have a pretty busy day on Saturday. The men will have our monthly breakfast at 8:45. The women will have their monthly meeting, which will be an indoor cookout at 11. And then we're also going to assist with Be Magic. Bernard Beatty, we're going to assist with his funeral, and so our choir has been asked to sing, and we're going to help them to celebrate his life on Saturday at 2. And then next Saturday, we're going to celebrate our own Dr. Simon O. Johnson, celebrate his life at 11. So God bless you. Make sure you bring somebody to church on Sunday and let folk know how much Jesus loves them. God bless you and have a great one.
Everybody, thank you.
All right.
Amen.
Good night.
Good
Good night.
Have a blessing. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Pastor.